Okay, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Watch Darius TV. I'm back with another review, and this one is of The Handmaid's Tale, Season 5, Episode 7, No Man's Land. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share the video for all things The Handmaid's Tale. I'll be doing a review of the next coming episode, so let's begin with this review. Okay, so this episode, pretty wild one. Is mainly centered around June and Serena. So the episode starts with Serena holding June at gunpoint to drive, and then she almost shoots June by accident. She doesn't, but almost gets close to doing it, but shoots the windshield, and June decides like screw this, and she just dips out. June feels sorry for Serena and finds out she's in labor, so June is now basically sort of in control of Serena for the first time in a while. She's telling Serena what to do because Serena needs her help. They can't go to any hospitals, so they decide to go to a barn because Serena's trying to avoid the creepy Wheeler family. So June has to help her arch nemesis out in this episode, which is a pretty interesting turn of events. This whole season in general has been just flipping everything on its head when it comes down to certain bad characters becoming sort of good, certain good characters are sort of showing more of a darker side in a way, and certain people that were in positions of power are losing it, and certain people that didn't have any power are gaining it. So it's sort of like that sort of switcheroo going on in this season, it feels like. We have a bunch of flashbacks, which I love flashbacks. They have a flashback of Serena bringing Alfred, aka June, to the house that she'll be a handmaid's at. And June sees a handmaid giving birth, and Serena looks at June sort of almost as if like, yeah, this is what we'll be doing in the future, kind of thing. I guess they have a showing their connection that they have throughout this season, this episode. I like that they have a whole lot of compare and contrast, showing certain similarities between June and Serena, and then also showing their sort of personal connection from flashbacks to where they're at now. I love that. The writing in this season has been phenomenal, especially in the last season, also season 4. Great writing. Cut back to present day. June is ironically helping Serena give birth now. And June tells Serena about the horrors that she had to go through from her second birth with Nicole. Basically, when she was all alone by herself. Showing the difference between now where Serena's not alone giving birth. So, June enjoys Serena, and it seemed like she was enjoying seeing Serena in pain for the first time, but knows that she has to help her. Serena decides to end up pushing her off, saying that you tried to kill me and my baby, type of thing going on, and you know, Serena June decides to also leave again, I believe, and then June knows that she can't move this car, so she's struggling trying to move the car. So they're both in a weird way kind of pushing. Serena pushes June away while she's also literally trying to push a baby out of her body, while June is trying to push this car out of a ditch so she can end up doing her own thing. Is everybody's just pushing everybody out of the way type of thing. The whole theme of pushing, I guess, in this episode, it seems that they're going for. We have another flashback of the birth. The woman unfortunately ends up dying during childbirth, and June is completely shocked. June and the other handmaid girls, they're told to pray, and Lydia tells June to pray, even though June is completely just distracted by this whole event going on for the baby. And I believe they decide to give this woman a C-section, and the baby is born. So that's how that goes. Flash forward, June gets the car out of the ditch, and but knows that she can't leave Serena, so she goes back to the barn, and Serena says, "Oh, you came back, you came back," type of thing. And I guess you could say June had almost like a Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction moment where she's like, I can't leave my enemy there, even though my enemy, made my life hell. I got to go back and save them, type of moment. So she goes back and save Serena. Anybody knows Pulp Fiction, you understand the reference I'm talking about, with Bruce Willis going back to save his arch nemesis. 90s kids, you would probably understand that. Anybody born in the 80s, you'd get it. Millennials, probably, anybody born after 2000, you probably wouldn't get that reference. I could be wrong. I hope I am. I hope I'm not too old. Anyway, let's get back to this review. So she helps Serena give birth. The baby comes. June looks like she wanted to almost take the baby away, but, at first, or just had sort of a sinister look, but she decides to give the baby to Serena. And she even says, "Praise be," sort of like they were in Gilead or something. So that's how that is. We have another flashback to the women. The woman dies giving birth, and Aunt Lydia gives the girls words of encouragement after the whole thing to, understand that the woman is passed on. She's in a better place now, type of thing, yada, yada, all that other stuff. June sees the baby being given during a flashback still. June sees the baby being given to another woman, and everybody's all happy. Like, they just completely discard the woman who whose baby it actually belongs to. They just kind of discard her, and this other woman just sort of takes the baby, and everybody, all the other wives are happy for her and stuff like that. And Serena and June sort of look at each other as if basically to say, hey, we may go through the same thing where, maybe Serena looks at June like, yeah, you might possibly die from, giving up your baby to me. So, yeah, it's type of thing. But they both also seem like they don't agree with the process of it kind of thing, where they look at it like, yo, this is kind of messed up. This woman died and her baby just taken away and given to somebody else type of thing. So it's kind of both, like, I guess going on where Serena's sort of looking like, hey, you're going to have to go through this. While also looking at like, yeah, this is kind of screwed up. I guess that's what they were going for. From the acting. These two women are very good actors, by the way. The actress that plays Serena, I don't remember her really from Dexter, and the woman that plays June, Elizabeth Moss, I've seen her in a couple stuff. So phenomenal actresses. Serena names the baby Noah. Flash forward back to where we're at now. Serena names the baby Noah, and June shares basically like a story of her raising Hannah and breastfeeding her and certain complications that Hannah had, but Serena asks why June didn't shoot her back a few episodes ago, and June says she didn't want to. Serena says she thought Fred would be here, when her baby was born, which is kind of ironic you bring up Fred to your arch nemesis who ended up being the one to kill your husband in the first place, so that was kind of ironic. But Serena asks if he would be like his dad. And June acts as she just says it all depends on how you raise them, and definitely you can tell Serena sort of regrets a lot of what's been going on throughout the series. Serena says that the Wheelers will find her if they go to the hospital, and Serena says to June, oh yeah, Serena says that the Wheelers were going to find her if she ends up going to a hospital, and she sort of makes a reference to the fact that now she knows what it's like to be a handmaid. So now, like I said, this whole past few episodes, most of this season, things have been switching around where Serena has a lot less freedom, whereas June now has freedom because she's at a Gilead in Canada now. So the irony. June tells her that they need to get help, and Serena suggests June take the baby. They have a whole process of what's going on here. I originally thought that maybe Serena was going to try to just choose when June's head was turned, she was holding the baby. I thought Serena was going to do the whole Hollywood cliche thing where she was going to, turn around and she'd be dead or something like that, but she was alive. And June tells her, so Serena suggests June take the baby, and Serena sees she has nowhere to go, and Serena ironically gives a baby instead of taking it away. So this is another ironic scene. Usually Serena is so used to taking a child, with her being sort of the wife of a commander, that ironically enough she tries to give her baby to June, and so she can just die and give up. So that was ironic, when it comes down to her having a career of, taking June's baby. Now she tries to give her baby to June. Now Serena wants June to save her son from Gilead's life, and so I guess he don't become no future commander or anything like that. June does take the kid. Then Serena tries to apologize, but June does not accept it. Kind of similar to how what happened with Lydia and Esther. These people that were originally in power, sort of these somewhat I don't know if I can say the word slave, but it's sort of like these women who were in charge of these women that mistreated them. They try to go for an apology, but these women that were subjected to cruelty don't want to accept their apologies. So June doesn't accept it, but she does save her, and not because and save her, and not because and she June decides to, instead of accepting the child, she decides to save Serena so she doesn't become like Serena, and gives the baby back to her, which is ironic. I really thought Serena was going to end up dying in this episode, but they completely flip things around, and June decides to save her and her kid and give her kid away. She could have been like, I'm gonna take the kid anyway, but she decides to let Serena take her child back, her son, so she can end up raising them. So June doesn't become like her arch nemesis. So interesting. The enemies reconcile and they finally go to a hospital. Serena isn't used to hospital life. She's, I guess she's so used to being in Gilead and how they do stuff. They don't do no hospitals or anything. Everything, I guess, is just sort of quote unquote natural, as you guess you can say. So no epidural or whatever that stuff that women use when they're pregnant. None. It's just she's not used to all of this. And Serena wants to go home, but she's in no man's land. I found it very ironic also that June was taken out of Gilead. She was taken to Gilead. So June was sort of taken out of her comfort zone at the beginning of the series. She was taken from. No, she was in the. I kind of forget how the show is set up. Gilead is in the United States, and people go to Canada for freedom. I believe that's what it is. So ironically enough, June was taken out of where her home was and brought to Gilead, and now things are kind of switched around where Serena is taken out of her comfort zone. She's in a completely new world, a new area, and she's out of her comfort zone. So it's the irony of things switching between the two. I like that. So they're taking, both of these women have experienced being taken out of their comfort zone and losing their children. So the irony. They shake hands after Serena thanks her, and June sort of reunites with Luke, and it seemed like Serena is happy. Not Serena. Both of them are happier, Serena and June. Luke is shocked that he sees June, and they reconcile because he thought that his wife was going to end up, taking one to the head, but that didn't happen. So Serena, they're happy and stuff like that, and then June sees the laws come for Serena, and Luke is like, yeah, he's like, it ain't come for us. Immigration comes to detain Serena, but June doesn't want this to happen, and Luke was the one that brought immigration there. After everything they've been going through, June hated Serena just an episode ago. Now it's, I guess you can say karma has officially come, and Luke was the one that set this up. So Luke was actually the one to finally take down Serena. Ironically enough, her child will not be taken. Now I think now in this episode, Serena becomes a complete handmaid now. She's officially become a complete went through the whole process of becoming a handmaid herself. Now she's experiencing getting her child taken away. But this time it's not from Gilead. It's from, from being in an area that she's not in. She's I don't know what is it called, an illegal alien, I believe. That's what you would refer to Serena as, because she's not in, she's out of Gilead. So, like I said, now she's a real handmaid. Luke gets his revenge. And this sort of undoes almost everything that happened in this episode. And just one decision. Luke was like, yeah, we finally got her. And, June is like, yeah, we did. Even though it's not even bittersweet. It's like, it's literally horror for June. Because it's like, dang, I really didn't. This is something I would have wanted a few episodes ago. But now she doesn't. So it's, wow. The writing in this episode and most of the season is phenomenal. I don't know who writes the Handmaid's Tale TV show. But this writing is dope. Yeah, it was wow, I wasn't expecting all this. This was pretty wild. I can't really think of any theories I might have. I think with this whole thing going on, it could kind of revert Serena back to becoming a villain, maybe an antagonist for June. After June was finally able to get revenge, she decided not to do it. Ironically enough, this situation happened could also propel Serena back to becoming a villain. Maybe, I don't know. She also can't really exactly go back to Gilead because, I guess she might be in trouble for maybe treason or something. So, wow. Crazy episode, man. Great. I don't even know what I can say about it. I was not expecting all that to happen, man. Wow. So my theory is most likely Serena might possibly end up deciding to go back to villain territory, possibly. But, yeah, crazy episode. Anyway, so if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. If you're a fan of Handmaid's Tale, subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing a review of next upcoming episodes, and if the show gets to season 6, I'll be doing a review of that. And thank you for watching my review of The Handmaid's Tale.